Political Watch at mga kasambahay, ipinapaalala lang po namin na kung meron kayong komento o nais liwanagin tungkol sa ating paksa ngayong gabi, mag-text o tumawag lang po kayo sa mga numerong nasa inyong TV screen.
Of course, Professor George, to start our discussion right away, allow me the honor of introducing our guests. And while we may not be members of the round table of King Arthur, and we might not be knights, ika nga, ladies first, and we are honored to have with us this evening a co-convener of Social Watch Philippines, a co-coordinator of Social Watch Asia, a former chief of the Bureau of Treasury and therefore former National Treasurer of the Republic of the Philippines, a professor of the College of Public Administration and Governance of the University of the Philippines, from where she graduated. Ma'am, good evening. We would like to welcome, of course, Professor Leonor Briones. Good evening, ma'am, and welcome to Political Watch.
Good evening. I'm very happy to be with Political Watch. Good evening to the viewers of this program.
And of course, beside her is a former Undersecretary of the then Department of Education, Culture and Sports, now the Department of Education. He's a former president of the Association of Certified Public Accountants in Public Practice, former Vice President of the Philippine Institute of Certified Public Accountants, or PICPA, a founding president of the Chamber of Filipino Entrepreneurs, chairman of the Philippine LaRouche, I hope I pronounced it right, Society, and until now, the chairman of the advisory board of the Carlos J. Valdes and Company,
CPAs,
who are, of course, made up of certified public accountants. Of course, Undersecretary Butch Valdes. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, George, and of course, our mentor and everybody's mentor, Professor Liling Briones.
Sir, ako nang po muna magtatanong.
Sure, go ahead.
Para po naintindihan ng ating publiko. Yung po bang National Treasurer, yung position ng National,
Yes.
Is it a cabinet position, ma'am?
During my time, it was a cabinet position dahil mahalagang-mahalaga yung paghawak, paglikom at saka paggastos ng pera. But generally, it is part of the Department of Finance. Ang boss dyan ay ang Secretary of Finance.
Okay. And therefore, if the incumbent president, for example, or President-elect Noynoy would decide to give the incumbent National Treasurer cabinet rank, he can do it.
Yes, he can do it.
Ayun. So, ang importansya po pala nito, at least kayo ang may hawak at that time, noong kaba ng bayan, kayo nakakaalam kung meron ba tayong kulang ba ang ating pera na, kung magkano ba inuutang natin. So, it's very important din po talaga itong cabinet position.
At saka, hindi lang yan, hindi lang yung maghawak ka ng pera, kasi any treasurer of a kindergarten class can do that, mangongolekta. Pero yung mga desisyon, halimbawa, kung saan manggagaling yung pera, sino ang papatawan ng WIS, kanino ka mangungutang, anong terms, mga ganon, mga policy, kailangan din na mahalaga ang posisyon at saka mahalaga din yung tao na humawak ng posisyon.
And therefore, the National Treasurer is an important part of the economic team of any administration.
Well, during my time, it was
Yusek Valdes, if I may, a lot of names have been mentioned the past several days. Kung sino-sino ang magiging kalihim ng Department of Justice, DILG, and all the other departments. On the whole, looking at the forest, ano ang reading mo? Kung ito sila talaga ang ma-appoint ni President-elect, ano ang tingin mo? Ano bang direksyon ang mapatutunguhan ng ating bansa?
Well, most important among all of the departments, I think, especially in these days, would be the Department of Finance, the NEDAC, the Bureau of Treasury, of course, and everybody else that will be involved and called as part of the economic management of the country. The reason I say that is because of the critical nature of our economic situation here, and the very critical nature of the economic situation outside the Philippines. We must be starting to prepare now our country for something which we envision to be inevitable, which is the global financial systemic collapse. And it's ongoing right now.
To be more specific, si dating Department of Finance Secretary, Cesar Purisima, is being mentioned, is being touted to be our next Secretary of Finance again. And then, of course, sa NEDA, I don't know if meron ng pangalan na nababanggit, but I haven't read or seen or heard kung sino man. And then, of course, the Department of Energy, Rene Almendras, I don't know sa DTI. But first things first, yung appointment, impending appointment, mukhang siya na yata ni Secretary Purisima. Ano ba, is this good? Will this be good for our country or whatever?
What must be first articulated, I think, by government, by the president, is what his immediate and national objective will be, no? In the light of the ongoing crisis that is now upon us. No? That must be articulated. Now, if we know what the president wants to do in order to address the kind of quality of life of our Filipino people now, plus what is going to be imposed on them later on in terms of a possible hyperinflationary situation, then he decides who will implement the necessary steps to address this situation. It is not just a matter of looking at credentials, whether they have PhDs or they've gone to Harvard or whatever. No? Because that's really beside the point. That's really very secondary.
But the truth is, we've had a host of doctoral degree holders.
Right. Yeah, and
but many of them did not really perform as expected. Sometimes a lot of horse sense or common sense would be more than enough to solve a particular problem.
Exactly.
Not a lot of degrees behind you.
Well, the degrees help, of course. But what I'm saying is, first identify what problem besets the country. No? It is way beyond mere corruption. No? It is beyond that. It is basically economic policy and how we must address this to save the lives of 95 million people. Now, this is something that's not going to happen years from now. It's upon us. No? And it's sad that none of the candidates at that time was addressing this impending situation, right? But nevertheless, we have a president-elect, and this president-elect must, first and foremost, address that situation.